Welcome to the 8th episode of NPC, the series that aims to bring the unimportant NPCs in games to light. Let us dive right in to the vast province of Cyrodiil in Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. In this episode, it is time to go back to the wonderful wagon wheel that is the Imperial City. Deep inside, we meet Thamriel, a wood elf woman who is notably eccentric, touched by the gods, they say. Elragail, another wood elf lady, is her caretaker. Thamriel introduces herself thusly.
Thamriel of Tamriel, what are all those strange creatures in the garden? Where are all the white birds?
It is evident that she has individualistic mannerisms. Elragail explains Thamriel's condition further, introducing herself with,
My name is Elragail. I look after Thamriel. He's a little strange, touched by the gods, they say.
And inquiring further,
Thamriel says she hears voices. All the men and women who lived and died here for thousands of years. Maybe they left ghosts behind.
Perhaps there is something supernatural behind Thamriel's state, not unprecedented in a world with magic and Daedric princes. Either way, Thamriel is quite unique. It seems as base that both women are highly friendly to Crow, which is fun. However, in order to have access to the speech wheel, we will have to decrease their favor using wine.
Yes?
Tentatively speech-wheeling it, we find that Thamriel favors admiration.
Are you interested in joining? We may be able to use you.
Goodness, what can I say?
Accepts boasting.
I'm the hero of Kavat.
Wish I could say that.
Doesn't like coercion.
You're foul.
You're wasting your breath.
And utterly rejects jokes.
I love Bay.
You're revolting. That's right. Exactly.
Finally, someone who likes admiration. To impress Elragail, with the wine and an unsheathed weapon, it is best to approach with intimidation.
You stupid?
Yes, whatever you say.
Jokes are also acceptable.
Slow and steady wins disgrace.
That's pretty good.
But refrain from boasting.
I closed the Oblivion gate and saved the city.
I doubt it.
And never admire her.
You treasure.
Don't talk such rot. That works for me.
Ordinarily, Thamriel and Elragail wake up at 6 a.m. and loiter in Tamriel's home for 4 hours. They then head over to the Foaming Flask, the tavern in the Talos district in which they live, for a 2-hour breakfast. After this, they head back home for a bit. Then at 2 p.m. they split off in 2 directions. Thamriel goes to the market district, keeping near the southern back alleys. Here, her schedule shifts a bit. On most days, she heads back home at 5, but on Mondas, Midas, and Fredas, she wanders around Green Emperor Way from 5 until 9. She then heads home and to bed at 10. Elragail, on the other hand, splits off to the local fancy inn, the Tiber Septim Hotel, and stays there, socializing in the lobby. After this, at 6 p.m., she heads back home and either waits for or joins Tamriel. To either wait for or join Thamriel. On Sundasses, Thamriel goes to the Temple of the One in the Temple District from 8 until midday before proceeding with her normal schedule. Elragail doesn't go to the temple, instead heading to the Market District to wander around and socialize for most of the day. At 8 p.m, she heads to the Green Emperor Way towards the Talos District exit. There, she lingers amongst the graves before heading back home at 9. I wonder if a loved one is buried there. Elragail goes to the temple on Lordasses from 8 a.m. to midday. She then heads home until 6, after which she heads to the graveyard as before and back home at 9. Strangely, they both roam the land a bit. On the 20th of any given month, Thamriel stretches her legs, waking up at midnight and skipping no beats as to walk out of the Imperial City. She traverses along the big bridge and follows the road south to Skingrad. Upon arrival, she goes to the Two Sisters Lodge, where she remains up until the 22nd, taking her trek back home again from midnight. On the 14th, Elragail travels to Anvil. There, she visits the Countess Melona Umbernox at dinners from 7 p.m. and stays in the castle until morning. She enjoys pacing in the storage closet for the whole night. During the day, she stays in the Count's Arms. The inn, not the actual Count's Arms. On the 16th, from 8 a.m., she departs Anvil and heads back to the Imperial City. Both ladies are citizens of the Imperial City, residing in the Talos district. The city is a big place with many citizens, so they are often lost in the crowd. Because of where they visit, one could also consider them partial citizens, or at least acquainted with, external towns. Thamriel of Skingrad and Elragail of Anvil. It is not stipulated what relation they have to each other. I suppose the only important part is Elragail is a caretaker. Their house is the standard Imperial City decent home, taking up its wedge of the Talos district, the westmost district of the Imperial City. It consists of a ground floor which functions as a living area and dining room, as well as some general purpose space, a basement used for storage and laying down dirty carpets, and the upstairs bedroom. The basement has no suspicious shrine, nor does the rest of the house house anything to explain Thamriel's condition. It is a lovely, colourful, decorated residence. They sleep on a fancy bed in a spacious bedroom with its own space for relaxation and study. They do not carry much. Thamriel holds her house key and a little gold in her pockets. She defends herself by punching and then running. Her choice of clothes are the matching burgundy shirt and pants paired with pigskin shoes. Elragail carries a copy of her house key, a spare pair of burgundy linens, and a bit more gold. She's a bit more feisty, defending herself by similar means, however enhanced with illusory concealments. She wears a russet felt outfit and thick cowhide shoes. Tusked lips are probably not as bad as being stabbed. Here is my apology, Thamriel.
Can't you settle this peacefully?
And to you, Elragail.
Stop right there!
I think it's nice to show more out there characters in games. I'm not in the know as to whether this was done well, but it is a small thing for a small character that is easily missable. It would be fun to find out if there is something magical going on there. Perhaps there are indeed white birds, just out of sight. Let the NPCs Thamriel and Elragail be NPC'en. Thank you for joining me, and